Welcome back, Troglodytes, to another episode of Trogly's Guitars. This is definitely a very special one. This is one of my favorite guitars I've had from my favorite series, Prehistoric Les Pauls. So what is prehistoric besides dinosaurs? Well, it's these Les Pauls. Anywhere built before the custom shop started calling them, physical reissues, R8, R9. But this one's a little bit different. I mean, if you've been following my channel, I had a prehistoric R9, but this is one I have never even seen before until I got it. A prehistoric R6 in collector condition, near mint, and you can find very minuscule things wrong with it, small little nicks and dings, but overall, this is an excellent condition guitar. Inside actually sleeps the original bill of sale and the combination lock paperwork. But you can see on here, it was originally sold to a guy in Brooklyn, Massachusetts, it looks like, on 12/13/91. And it is described as a Les Paul reissue, antique gold nickel hardware. 1248.1. You can see the original price. Let's see, after tax that looks like $16.19. I guess here's the actual price. So almost $1,700. So once again, we have a 1991 Gibson Les Paul 1956 reissue, or R6. This is kind of a reissue of the first gold tops. They started off with the trapeze tailpiece, they went to a wraparound, and then in 56 they went to the ABR1 style. So this is a reissue of that. 57 is when they went to humbuckers. But these are highly coveted guitars, even with modern day reissues, because they're just that original classiness with the P90s. These are pure and simple rock machines. But just take a look at this top carve there. How beautiful is that? So, as mentioned earlier, this thing is in collector's condition, near mint, which I hate using that word, but when it comes time to say it, you definitely know it. So, without further ado, let's kind of take a close look at this guitar. We'll start with the headstock here. The headstock has the most damage, so to speak. Some very light string changing wear, as you can kind of see here. There's a little bit of smudging right there, but it's not too bad, not overly apparent. I tried to clean it, maybe I just didn't clean it very well, but it almost looks like maybe there was a sticker on there at one point in time or something like that. Something else that makes these prehistoric Les Pauls so unique is their goofy Gibson logo. We're trying to recreate the 50s style, so you can always know when you're looking at a prehistoric based on that logo. Another nice touch that I like that they made is the Les Paul model is the water slides a little higher than usual, which is reminiscent of the 50s. You have this beautiful rosewood neck with awesome vintage looking inlays. I just love it. Something else characteristic of these early prehistoric ones is how small the nibs are on the side of the frets, the binding. There's extra care taken to these guitars, that's for sure. Take a look at the body here. The only nicks or dings I really see on this guitar is there's one right here. It's just very tiny. I'm not even sure if any of this will really show up, but just very minor wear and tear. Once again, a beautiful dish carve on this one, super deep. It's just a gorgeous guitar. So once again, you've got your stock P90s, got your stock pickguard, which looks really classic, and you have your nickel ABR1 with wire and nickel tailpiece, which is full weight. And then you have your really cool reissue style knobs here. We'll go on to the back of the headstock here. You can see your serial number, 12481. No breaks, cracks, or repairs to speak of on here. You've got a few very, very minor, light, pin-sized dings kind of on the back of the headstock here we'll try to show. But overall, nothing too bad. The neck, I would say, is kind of a medium profile. Looks like you got a very small ding in that area right there. Nothing too bad. But yeah, I would definitely say a 60s neck profile. You can see no major buckle rash or anything on the back. And a gorgeous piece of mahogany. And they've got that grain filler kind of like they did in the 80s, where it's not 100% perfect. You can still kind of see that it's a little bit creamy. And I really love that because it reminds me of 83 Spotlight Specials. Now this guitar is all original with one exception. This is a 2-owner guitar. The second owner guy wanted to make this as vintagely accurate as possible. So what he did was he made a modification to the caps. Instead of the crappy ceramic caps, he actually put in real 50s vintage Bumblebee caps. So that's a huge upgrade, and those things are pretty pricey on their own. We'll take a look at the sides here. Got a few minor, light nicks and dings, but overall, nothing too bad. This is definitely collector's condition, probably as clean as you're gonna find. And honestly, this is the first Prehistoric R6 I've ever seen. I thought they only did like the burst reissues, but this is definitely a very cool guitar that I'm glad I'm able to offer you guys. Let's take a look at this Prehistoric's routes and pickups. It's kind of interesting here how after they route out the wiring channel there, they actually have to graft in this little block here in order for the P90 to fit in. I thought that was kind of interesting. Something else that's kind of cool is there's a little date stamp in here. It looks like it says May 6, 19, it almost looks like 89, but I'm guessing it probably says 1991. It's kind of blurry and covered by paint, and there's a hole there, but I can definitely make out that it's likely May 6, 1990 something. So very interesting here, because you don't see these Prehistoric R6s very often. So we're going to take a look at the pickups here. They are clear with the copper windings. I mean, there's no major, markings on them or anything, but they are original to the guitar. Very cool looking. This beauty weighs 9 pounds, 7.3 ounces. So that's a really good weight for a Les Paul. It's not too heavy, but it's not too light either. We'll do a quick look under blacklight here. You can see a few tiny little imperfections there, but original finish and all that. The front finish is also original, as is everything else. And I love the way these Prehistoric knobs fluoresce under black light. They definitely have a very unique look to them. They kind of turn that really dark orangish color, which I really like. The back of the headstock is also good, with no issues to worry about. That's not finish wear you're seeing, it's just kind of shadows casting on it. There we go. So this guitar is perfectly original in its finish. And as you can see, very minor wear and tear, if any at all. This is probably one of the cleanest Prehistorics I've ever seen. Now that we know what she looks like, let's hear how she sounds. I knew these things were well revered for their P90 pickups, but wow. I was not prepared for just how nice of a player this guitar was. That bridge P90 just screams, and such fat tones from the neck pickup, and then when you blend them, it's awesome. I am now a P90 believer, that's for sure. So this might be a pretty face, mint condition, but gosh, this thing is an animal when it is plugged in. I didn't want to stop playing this one. So if you think you might want to be the next owner of this beautiful prehistoric 1956 reissue guitar, beautiful gold top P90s, nickel hardware, it's just perfect. Feel free to contact me on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Troglys, Trogoys, or you can check out the listing on Reverb or eBay. Alright, Troglodytes, we'll catch you next time. Bye.